everybody, and welcome back to the Gamefira podcast. This is episode number 3, lucky number 3, and today we're going to once again talk about 3 different subjects. Each of us has picked a different subject. Once again, I'm joined by Justin.
Good evening.
And Austin.
Hello.
If you joined us last time, you may remember I said that we will be doing this bi-monthly. I guess a better term would be bi-weekly. Thanks to Tony from Nintendo Oki for pointing that out to me, and I feel like a big idiot. So, anyway, once again, we'll be talking about 3 subjects. So I guess first off, we're going to be doing my subject. We're going to be talking about Steam machines. So I don't know how familiar you other guys are with the Steam machines, but I'll give you a basic rundown. So anybody out there who, hopefully you all know what Steam is. Steam is a computer-based PC download service for games. It supports PC and Mac, but basically there's a huge indie community. Steam is it's become very popular over the past couple years because of the amount of games. It's a good service. They're always having really good sales. They do, yearly sales, and then they do, some other sales here and there. And you can pick up some really good games for really cheap. So Steam is owned by Valve, which is a game developer that is probably most famous for the Half-Life series. Also did the Portal games, Left 4 Dead, Team Fortress, the Orange Box, all that stuff. So anyway, this rumor's been, they've been talking about coming out with a Steam box for the past couple years. The idea's kind of been floating around, which would basically be a dedicated machine for running Steam and playing PC games. So in the past couple weeks, Valve went ahead and announced, they made 3 big announcements. First off was the Steam operating system, which is going to be a Linux-based operating system that's going to run their Steam machines. The second announcement was the new touch controller. Let's get the touch
controller.
It's weird. It's really weird. A lot of people are making fun of the design of it. I think it looks kind of cool. I don't know. I haven't got my hands on one, so I don't know how it's going to play. I've heard mixed reviews, but so that was their second big announcement. And then the third being Steam machines. So what are Steam machines? Well, it's basically going to be a box that you buy to play PC or Steam-based games in your living room. And you may ask, why do I need that?
Do we need that? We were talking about it earlier.
We were talking about this earlier. So basically, who's going to need this? It's kind of going to be a console competitor. But I think, the main thing is it's going to take the accessibility of the Steam mindset to a lot bigger audience. They haven't announced all the details of the Steam machines yet, but from what they've said, there's going to be several different models. One of the theories out there is that there's going to be 3 different models. There'll be a entry-level tier, which will be pretty cheap, which will basically be for people who already have a gaming PC and are already using Steam to use the streaming function to play the games from their PC to their living room. It doesn't... I can see some advantages. It really depends on the price point on that one, I guess.
Sure. For some people, Steam works best on a PC, correct?
Yeah, but I guess the advantage for that lower price tier is you want to play those Steam games, but you want to play them in their living room, and you don't have your PC in the same room. And you want to use the cool Steam controller.
How does it connect to the TV? Does it have to be like a Wi-Fi TV? Does it have like a USB port? Do you know that? Or?
I don't have all the details. I'm going to assume it's HDMI. That's kind of the standard. There may also be a Wi-Fi capability. I know you can stream wirelessly from your PC to the Steam box or the Steam machine.
Right.
So that may be able to also connect to
Oh,
the
okay,
TV.
so it would be like Wi-Fi hooking up to
Yes.
the okay, I see.
And so that's the entry level model. The second level model, and this is a theory still, there's no concrete details on this yet, would be kind of a mid-range, probably the same price range as the major consoles, the Xbox One, the PS4, and kind of the same hardware. It would work more like a standalone machine. You wouldn't have to have a PC to use it, because it would have enough RAM, enough memory to run the games itself. And that would probably be where I would come in. And you know, the way I look at it is, I think Steam is an awesome service. I have a Steam account. I use my Steam account. The one downfall for me is that I am a Mac user. And if you're a Mac user, Steam does not have much of a game selection. It's not Steam's fault. It's more of the game development community's fault. And it
your fault for having a Mac.
Shut up. But it costs them extra money to put out a Mac compatible copy. So I would say, I don't know the exact numbers, but I would say roughly 10% of games on the Steam service are Mac compatible, which kind of limits what I can play. Another downfall to playing Steam games on Mac, Steam does not support using a controller with the Mac. So you have to use the keyboard and mouse, which really, really cripples some games. I prefer playing with a controller, so it really limits what I can do with Steam. So for me, a Steam machine in that mid-level would really help. It's not for everybody. I don't think. I don't think it's going to be a console killer, or anything like that, or take a big chunk of the consoles market. But I think it's a cool way to make Steam more accessible. What do you guys think?
Would you like to start, Justin, or should I?
No, go ahead, Austin. You're fine.
Okay, well, I have very, wide. No, I have nothing, honestly. I would probably get it though, just because I just now got this PC and I would like to get more games. Plus the fact that I could carry it on into my living room, onto that TV. I could play the Steam games in here if I wanted to. But if I wanted to go in there and do that, that would help a lot. Did you say there were going to be 3, or are there only 2 different?
Yeah. There will also be a higher priced model that would be more, for your pro gamers. I don't know what the price point on that would be. They're thinking somewhere in the, it could be up to $800 to $1,000. It really just depends on what kind of specs you want, I think. Like I said, all of the details are not announced on this yet. They haven't released all the specs, but they've kind of released some of them. It seems like it's going to be a good deal.
Right, and the Steam box isn't the official name yet, is it?
No. They kind of killed that name.
Right.
That was kind of the press's name.
Kind of like the Project Mental.
It was a name that has kind of been given to it, but officially it is going to be Steam Machines. And there will be several different models, possibly several different manufacturers, from what I've read. And on the plus side, they're also, the hardware is going to be interchangeable. So you can upgrade your system. Say you get the middle of the line model, and then it's not quite fast enough for some of the games you want to play, or a new graphics card comes out, or you can upgrade it to be even better.
I haven't actually seen these. How big are they? Like, are they?
There's different there's different sizes depending on the model, from what I've read. I think they're saying kind of the standard model is like, I want to say around 12 by 11 by 2 inches tall. So about the size of a DVD player or a Blu-ray player.
Right.
Which is pretty small.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the size of a computer. I was kind of
No,
thinking it was like
no,
computer
way
size.
smaller than a PC. It's gonna be
Well, if it's designed to do one thing and that's play games,
yeah,
they can
well,
get away
and,
with that.
You know, the technology is out there to take the PC components and put them in a smaller package. I mean, look at the Ouya, look at the Raspberry Pi, and a lot of these other micro PCs that are out right now.
The what? I don't know what that
Okay,
is.
just Raspberry Pi. Anyway, there are a lot of micro PCs out there on the market right now, and this is not going to be the same. It's somewhere between a micro PC and a full-scale gaming PC. But I think it's a good solution. A lot of people are decrying it, saying it's a waste of money. Why do that when you just get a gaming PC? And like I said,
I mean, I see both sides of that. I mean, if you're one of those people that don't even like I have a game room, and I mean, I don't see myself even needing it to play a lot, but it'd be nice to go to my living room. But if you're one of those people that just want to sit in your own game room and play on your mobile monitor with the fastest PC you can build yourself,
and if you already have a PC, and you just want to get the entry level Steam machine to stream to your living room, from what I've read so far, of course, like I said, none of this is 100% yet, but they're trying to get that price point around $100, and that's pretty good. I mean, that's not bad at all. I mean, $100 to play a whole library of games on your TV on a brand new, newly designed controller that's supposed to be innovative, and it could be cool. And like I said, for people in the same boat as me that don't have a gaming PC, I don't have a PC at all. And I don't feel like blowing money on a gaming PC and then having to buy a monitor. And, that's just to play a bigger library of Steam games. So
yeah, it's like you were telling me too. Like I'm not into PC gaming just yet. I don't expect to be, but Steam, I've heard from everyone I've ever talked to about it, it's always got a good deal on a couple of games. So
yeah, the huge sales. They've got all the major released PC games, plus tons and tons of indie titles. The indie community has really thrived on Steam, and that's probably where I would spend most of my money, is on indie games, to be honest. And it sucks that I can't, because I'm a Mac user. I mean, there are some that I can play that cross over, but there's a lot of games that I'm like, man, I really like to try that game out, and I just can't, because I don't have a PC. So that middle of the road option would be really good for me. I don't see myself spending $1,000 on a upper tier Steam machine, but I think there are people that will. So I think it'd be it's really cool. It's definitely something I'm going to keep a watch on, and definitely something I'm going to think about, investing in when the time it releases. I think it's a really cool thing. I mean, Valve has always done some really cool stuff. I think the Steam service itself is awesome, really innovative, and it's not without its issues. I know they've had a lot of problems, especially with their Greenlight program. And I think they're reworking that to support the indie community more in the way that the system was kind of conceptualized as to how it was actually utilized. But overall, Steam is a really cool service, and I would personally like to use it more. And I think that the Steam machines is a way to do that.
Well, not to mention, I'm a big console gamer, and 90% of the games that come out on the console that I play, which is the 360, I mean, they come out on the PC, so you can get better deals on them. And streaming from your living room to wherever, it makes it a lot easier. From if I wanted to play in the living room right now, I'd have to pick up my Xbox and plug everything and take it in there. So I mean, a lot faster.
It's just a cool. It's a cool idea. It's a cool I really like that they're making it to where you can change out the hardware and you can kind of customize it to yourself. And they've got different models, so you're not locked in to one model. And like I said, I don't think it's not a console killer. It's not, it's not gonna kill console gaming. The Xbox and the PlayStation are not going anywhere. And I really don't think it's gonna steal much of their thunder either. I think it's gonna do the most damage to the gaming PC manufacturers, your Alienwares and stuff like that. I think they're going to get hit the most from this. But it's such a niche market anyway. I don't see them putting anybody out of business. But I think they'll do well with it. And, Valve, has proven themselves to be pretty business savvy. And, they know what they're doing. They usually don't make stupid decisions. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to, getting more of the exact specs and, hopefully getting hands-on eventually and getting to play around with it a little bit. I think it's a really cool thing. So, like we say every day or every podcast, be sure and leave us some comments. Let us know what you think of the Steam machines. What do you think about what Valve's doing? Are you going to buy one? If so, which model do you think you're going to go with? And do you play Steam at all? So, with that, let's...
Don't forget to, never mind, they're not going to DM me anyway. Go ahead.
So, let's move on to Austin's subject. And for this episode, what are we going to be talking about, Austin?
I am talking about, I'm a big Bioshock fan, so I'm going to be picking out the new Bioshock DLC that's, it's not launched out yet. I have forgotten the launch date. I'll find that later. But, if you are a fan of the Bioshock series, the first two games took place in a place called Rapture, which was, like 10,000 leagues under the sea in a giant city that was destroyed. Yeah. Aerial swims by every now and then. But it brings back the old feel of the Bioshock game. Like, they changed the mechanics and the names of a lot of things in Bioshock Infinite, which I'm not gonna lie, it's my favorite Bioshock game out of the three. It's just got really
and who's the main voice actor of the main character in that again?
Oh, I would like to give a big shout out to Troy Baker for fulfilling my life's destiny as a murderous psychopath. Not really, he's a pretty good character. But no,
our favorite voice actor here at Gamefira, Troy Baker.
Troy Baker
plays the main character Booker. Bioshock Infinite. So tell us a little bit more about the DLC.
I thought you were going to tell you about Booker again. But DLC will take you back to Rapture, and I don't know if I'm pretty sure there's going to be 2 parts to it, and I believe it's part 2 of it, you're going to get to actually play as Elizabeth instead of, I think it's Booker that you're going to be playing as in part 1.
Yeah.
Forgive me if I'm wrong.
I believe it is.
Yeah. It's returning the old mechanics back, like the weapon wheel and all of that, great things. Trying to actually find something. Yeah, Biggers are going to be called plasmids again. Biggers are your little superpowers that you get by injecting yourself with things, not steroids. Promise.
They were plasmids in the first 2 games, weren't they? Were they plasmids?
They were plasmids in the first 2 games, and then once you got into Infinite, they called them Biggers, and everybody knew they were plasmids. It was same concept, same thing. You shoot yourself up, great life lessons. You became the sky's the limit. Anyway, sorry. I said that earlier, didn't we?
I think so.
Yeah, and the biggest thing ever is that Silver Eagles are not going to be called Silver Eagles anymore. Guess what they're going to call them?
Hawkeyes?
Money.
Nice.
Yeah, voxophones are going to be audio logs now, and the connectoscopes are now need-to-know machines.
Need-to-know machines.
Yeah. You buy supplies from Bioshock's circle of values.
So this DLC is actually a prequel.
I'm not actually sure about that. Did you ever play the Bioshock Infinite? Did you ever play it at all?
No.
Okay, well, spoiler alert, everybody. Elizabeth has like powers where she can tear rifts into other dimensions. And
Do what?
what? In the what? Anyway, she, I believe, tears a rift into Rapture, and like, it's the old Rapture before it was destroyed by little psychopathic girls that had gigantic people defending them.
Yeah, freaky series.
I love it. What did you say?
It's a big fan base. I mean, and you know, it's really cool. I love the art style. It's kind of a weird mix of steampunk noir. It's different. And like we said, you know, Troy Baker's in it, so it's gotta be good.
Well, it's always good with Troy Baker.
Exactly.
One thing that should be noticed. But we won't talk about that, will we, Chris?
No. So what it's actually called? What?
It's Bioshock Infinite Burial at Sea DLC. I'm trying to find the release date. Honestly, I don't know. Ugh.
So we don't know. We don't know when it's going to be released, and do you know how much it costs?
Yeah, they haven't said that either. Sorry, guys, you're on your own.
Nice. So if you look it up sometime after you listen to this podcast, you can find out the release date and how much it's going to cost you.
Chris might link some videos that have some information.
Yes, I definitely will link some videos that have information on that.
I've been a busy scroll.
So, are there any other DLC, or is that the only one that's coming out?
No, there was a DLC before. I'm pretty sure. I don't even own the game. I actually rented it from Redbox and beat it, and then I rented it again and beat it again because it was that good. But I did not download DLC. I'm pretty sure there is a DLC out already, but it's not like it's another story like this one is.
Yeah, I think it was a multiplayer mode or something.
Yeah.
But overall, one of the best games of the past couple years, from what everybody said. Fantastic story, great art style. Do you think they're going to continue the series, Austin?
I don't see why they wouldn't. If at this point they would continue the Halo series, as big a fan as I was, I feel they need to stop. Sorry, but Bioshock is definitely moving in the right direction.
They will never stop the Halo series till they stop making money.
If there's a dystopian society to, you know, mess things up, yeah, they can always make more.
That's why Miley's record is hit number like whatever it is now, right? So the few copies.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about twerking or.
You can't see it right now, but my tongue's sticking out. And,
you compared Bioshock to Miley Cyrus?
No, I compared Halo to Miley Cyrus.
Oh.
Come on, Justin, get your act together.
Get your act together.
Oh, Miley. Oh, Miley.
But no, I really do think it's moving in like an awesome direction. I know a ton of people that once they actually beat the game, it completely screws with your mind. You go back and forth, and a lot of people like we'll go back to Troy Baker. It was really compelling through this story because I looked this up on my own time, you know, because I wanted to. But the whole time they were like recording the voice acting for this, they were letting Troy and God, I forgot her name. She's beautiful though. She's beautiful. The whole time they were just letting them kind of do what they wanted to do, and they were actually changing the story, you know, bit by bit to you know.
Yeah, from what I saw, they you know, they had a general plot direction and they had, you know, the outline and everything, but they kind of gave the actors a little bit of leeway as to the actual dialogue and really let it develop naturally.
And
what I watched.
And that like gets creepy towards the end because I'm not gonna spoil it for anyone that hasn't beat it, but they kind of let them develop like relationship feelings for one another. And then once you beat the game, it's completely awkward and creepy. I probably ruined it for half the people listening right now because
I'm sure most of the people listening have already played it. It's fine.
if you haven't, you need to.
Hey, we said spoiler alert, I believe. So we're safe.
I did yell that one more time. Past reference. Spoiler alert.
That makes it all better, even if you didn't spoil it. And so long as you say spoiler alert.
Yeah, as long as you preface it with spoiler alert.
It's like when you slap someone in the face that you don't know, and then you run away, and then you come back to them 2 weeks later and you say, I'm sorry.
Or you say something really mean and critical of someone, so long as you proceed it with all due respect.
With all due respect.
Yeah, I mean, as long as, like, I could call Chris, I'm not going to say that because, you know, he gets offended when I call him short little Oompa Loompa. But,
this is a family show, Austin.
Or no offense, but...
No offense, Chris.
No offense, but you look like the back end of a cow.
No offense, but, I don't think I'm standing in a cow pasture, but it sure does smell like... You don't
Yeah.
even say words on this.
Yeah, we'll just stop here. So, Bioshock, Barrel at Sea DLC, do you think it's worth buying?
If you are a big enough fan of the series like I am, I mean, if you played Bioshock 1 and 2, you're obviously going to want it because you traveled back to Rapture before it was destroyed. You're actually going to fight the enemies in Rapture, the rabbit masked beings, not the people that were in Infinite. But you play as the characters from Infinite, so in my case, I give it yes, a big yes.
Okay. I like I said, I have not played the games. I've said it once, I'll say it again. I'm more of a retro gamer, but I will admit that is one series I have really been eyeballing, and I'm probably looking at picking up all three of them.
This is how Chris was. He was like, I'm gonna start a gaming website. Well, have you played this game? Well, no. Have you played this game? Well, no, not really. What about this one? No, I don't play video games.
Moving along.
That actually is something we'll have to address at some
We will have to address that at
Not
some
on this
point.
episode, though.
That's like a whole vlog or something. I don't know what that is. So in conclusion, like always, leave us some comments. Tell us what you think. Go to the Facebook page, Facebook/Gamefira. Tell us what you think. Twitter @Gamefira. Let us know what you think of Bioshock and the Bioshock Infinite DLC, and continue this discussion. We really want to hear from you guys. Let us know what you think, and we will address any issues through social media or on the next episode. I would love to possibly add in, like a Q&A section where we answer questions from our listeners. So send us some questions.
Also, if you are a big fan of the Bioshock series, let me know what your favorite game was. I'd like to get everybody's opinions on this, honestly.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind hearing that. So yeah, let us know. Comment, like, subscribe, do all those things. Follow us on Twitter.
Click buttons with the mouse.
I like buttons. All right. It's time for the third and final topic of today's podcast, and that is Justin. What are we going to be talking about?
The exciting topic of financial responsibility when buying new games or even new consoles.
Being fiscally responsible in today's fluctuating economic society.
Today's fluctuating economic society, where as of in 2013, we're looking at a lot of AAA titles coming out, and even a new generation of consoles coming out. It's been a good year for gaming. Grand Theft Auto 5 is out in the wild now. As of this recording, Pokemon X and Y, I think, is coming out this Saturday. Nintendo in their weird release dates.
Yeah.
We have Pokemon X and Y.
I think Nintendo always releases on a Saturday, actually.
I thought it was Sunday.
Well, I think it's Saturday at midnight, so technically it is Sunday.
But Japan's like ahead of us on this, so technically for them, it's already Sunday.
That's true.
Are they time travelers?
They are time travelers. Japanese. That's how they come up with all that.
Have I ever watched Heroes? No.
That's how they come up with all that cool technology, because they're time travelers from a very, very
I'm not sure if this podcast is turned racist, but I feel like it is.
We didn't know. We're complimenting them.
Justin is Asian. We have a pass.
I'm not Japanese, but because it's close enough.
Close enough.
Close enough.
This isn't racist. Let's go on.
So anyway,
Okay, I do bring up the topic because there's a lot of stuff coming out this year and a lot of stuff coming out early next year. Final Fantasy 13-3. I'm kind of excited about that, even though I haven't played 13-2 yet. Here's the reason why I bring it up. We're often persuaded to buy all these products as soon as they hit the market. I remember last year I bought Final Fantasy 13-2 when it came out. I think that was February or March last year. And within 6 months, if I remember right, the price dropped from $60 to about $20. The only way I could justify my purchase was I like to think that I helped Square Enix pay their utility bills. And hey,
yeah.
But let's be honest. Also, I mean, we're not telling people to not buy games. It's our patronage that
it has become somewhat of a strategy, especially with AAA titles. And some companies are more notorious than others for this. And basically,
you have something in your throat.
Yeah, I have something Mega Man sized in my throat. Basically, what we're talking about is, these game companies are releasing these AAA titles, these games that people are waiting in midnight release lines, 100 people deep, to pick up the game, when it releases, and paying $60.
Now I know what you have in your throat.
And then they turn around.
100 people.
Yeah. And then they turn around a couple months later and just, they release a Game of the Year edition or a Director's Cut edition or a, whatever. And, it's got all the DLC that you paid $20 a shot for. And it's got, all this extra stuff, content that the early adopters are paying for, as it comes out, because they want to have it as soon as it comes out. And the late adopters are getting it for a reduced price, $20 less than the sticker price, or even more in some cases.
Yeah, a good example is Batman Arkham City last year. No, 2 years ago. Excuse me, 2011. I bought the game as soon as it released. I bought a few pieces of DLC. And within the year, there was a Game of the Year edition with all the DLC that I bought, plus all the stuff that I didn't buy, and at a smaller price point.
Yeah, I think it was like $20.
Yeah, I got the Game of the Year edition.
Did you?
Yeah,
well,
so did I.
Sure.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
Yeah.
Hey, good deal. Well, hey, I'm glad someone benefited from it. And like I said, there are times where I say, hey, I like this developer so much, I'll support them, from day one. But with so much stuff coming out, sometimes you can't, unless you just have all the money to throw at it, you kind of have to be smart sometimes. For instance,
as we move into fiscally responsible adulthood,
you have kids and you have jobs
and
or the lack thereof,
and mortgages and car payments and insurance.
I picture Justin walking out of GameStop with a game inside of his bag, and he just sits in the passenger seat, and he's like, "You're fucking welcome."
Funny thing is, like Final Fantasy 13-2, I actually haven't even opened the game yet. That game came out a year and a half ago. Okay, and here's my thing. Here's my strategy.
From what I've heard, you're not missing much.
Well, 13-3, I want to see how it goes. I hope it does well. Unfortunately,
Lightning returns.
The thing with it, I know if 13-2 is any indicator, 13-3 probably won't sell much, and I expect a pretty rapid price drop. I'm probably gonna wait till then.
Why?
Square is just kind of in a slump. That's a whole nother subject, but
That didn't make any geometric sense. Square is in a slump.
Yeah, well, it's whatever. And if you do follow us on Facebook, you will see a while back I posted a link to a game that Square does have coming out, and of course I can't remember the name of it right now, that I think is awesome. But they're not promoting it, and it's not.
Tomb Raider?
It breaks my heart.
Tomb Raider
it's
2?
Oh my god, I can't remember the name of it right now.
Another Tomb Raider reboot.
No, it's something. It's a really weird name, but it's a JRPG, and it's, if you didn't read the title, you would think it was a new entry in the Final Fantasy series, an actual entry in the Final Fantasy series, not Final Fantasy 13, and you're running down a friggin' corridor, and not.
Is it
A true turn-based.
Is it a console game or for like?
It's 3DS.
Okay,
It's
I know
on
what
the
you're talking
3DS.
about.
And
Something Bravely.
yes.
Jeez. We obviously did our homework.
Oh, I know, right?
Well,
I didn't figure this was going to come up, but of course.
Yeah,
it
I know what you're talking about. It's kind of more in the same vein as the DS remakes of Final Fantasy 3,
Exactly.
4, and
Exactly.
4 Heroes of Light.
It looks like another entry in that remake series of those classic Final Fantasy games, and it looks amazing. And that's what Square needs to be doing. That's just my opinion, but that's where the Final Fantasy series needs to be, not where they've put it. But that's just me. Anyway, back to the subject.
Back to the subject, and looking at consoles, actually, we were staring down the PS4, the Xbox One. I look back at
Or
2006.
as some of us likes to call it, the X-Bone. The X-Bone.
Neckbone.
Apparently Microsoft did not foresee that nickname.
I look back at 2006 for the PS3, and when it originally released, 20 gigs, it was backwards compatible. That was a point in its favor, but within about a year and a half, 2 years, you start having more efficient PS3s that can hold more memory. It eventually lost the backwards compatibility, unfortunately, but it was cheaper, and it was smaller, and less likely to croak on you. And I don't know. I'm holding off on the initial release of consoles this year. Though it does look like a lot of both consoles do have a pretty good list of launch titles.
Yeah.
Which normally isn't the case.
It's normally not. And, it usually takes a year or two for the really good titles to come out. And that's mostly due to development period. It takes, especially with the big budget games, it takes several years to develop those games now.
And that's where I feel bad too. It's like, man, I really should help these guys out. They put so much work and time and talent into it. But hey, I'm a part-time color.
Austin, do you have any
Part-time worker.
you got any stories of early adopting where you got burnt?
Sorry, what? I was looking for this game the entire time.
Oh, okay. You just alright. You said that you had gotten Bioshock Infinite from Redbox. Yeah, you borrowed it.
Yeah, he rented it from Redbox.
I'll find that game, by the way. Don't worry about it. But
What
So
did
are
you say
you-
the last word?
Braverly.
Okay, that's not the right game at all.
what did you find?
It doesn't matter. Okay, here I will share a story because Austin's lost in searching mode.
Oh, look at my phone.
So probably the biggest hit I ever took with early adopting was the 3DS. And everybody knows that story.
I partook as well.
Yeah, Justin was right there with me. We got it on launch day. We got it for what was it? $250?
240. 240, yes.
Yeah, somewhere in there. At launch, and then Nintendo turned around and dropped the price
Due to poor sales at the time.
due to poor sales at the time.
You can't
which
foresee
I
that.
don't. Here's my look at it. The console was worth what I paid for it.
Absolutely.
The problem was they didn't have the software to back it up.
Sure.
And that, entail that they had poor sales. They had to do something to fix the problem. I can't blame them for what they did. Nintendo usually doesn't do that. It was kind of a rare case for Nintendo, but I will admit I did get burnt on that. I did get a ton of free games out of it, though.
Yeah, with their ambassador program.
Yeah, they had the ambassador program,
sure.
so they made up for it. A lot of the these other companies don't do that. They burn you with a Game of the Year edition, and they still make you pay for the DLC. Would it be
Okay. cheaper
cheaper to just buy the Game of the Year edition and trade in your original copy of the game?
Sure.
Probably. But it's whatever.
I know what you're talking about now, and I'd rather not talk about it because I hate myself for it.
What happened, Austin?
how
You
much
can
did you
share with
spend?
us. It's just
How much
us.
did you spend?
What, 250? 250 on the 3DS, and then
Sure.
it dropped to
It was
179. It was 179.
180, I believe. Yeah.
I
180.
spent about $550 on this.
on what?
Well, like I said before, and anybody that knows me knows I was in the past a ginormous Halo fan, and the last Halo game before Halo 4 was Halo Reach, and I didn't like it. I found out they were bringing back all the aspects of Halo 3. I was super excited. So I decided to go out, even though I have a perfectly fine Xbox. I bought the $400 Xbox, which I paid $450 for because the price dropped right after I finished paying it off.
Wow.
Yes, and then I went out and decided to get the special edition of Halo 4 because it actually came with all the DLC and stuff, like a code that you got all the
Yeah.
DLC as soon as it came out. So yeah, but
Yeah, like a season pass.
yeah, but probably the worst thing I ever did because we stayed up for like a day straight, maybe two, just straight up playing that game, and then we all just sat down after a minute and we're like, you know what, the game kind of sucks.
You know, on the flip side to that, I will say that there actually, I mean, like I said, if you have the money, there are times when buying a video game at launch can actually be justified. For instance, if you're buying a game for the online play, and you know odds are after a couple months after the game releases, maybe no one's going to be on. I guess Tomb Raider's a
Or
good
everybody's
example.
going to be so far ahead of you
Sure.
that you're going to be at a disadvantage.
I mean, I would say, yeah, that's completely justified. But again, don't let us, tell you what to do with your money.
Hey, don't let us sway you either way. We're just
just
sharing our
views on it.
experiences.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of a vice versa thing there too. Like instead of buying something, like you guys know what Astro headsets are? They're like really good headsets for the Xbox, and I bought a pair that were $300. They came with like a mix amp and the headset, and you hook them up into the fiber optic slot on the back of your Xbox. Well, I was just tired after Microsoft decided to just completely screw over their entire audience. So I was like, yeah, I'm done with Microsoft, it's whatever. So I went and sold my $450 Halo 4 Xbox with its $250 hard drive, or 250 gigs. And I sold, and get this, when I bought the Xbox, it came with a copy of Halo 4. So I got 2 copies of Halo 4 that night. That was the best part. I didn't know about it. But anyway,
Oh, Austin.
I got that $300 headset, and I loved it. I'm not gonna lie. But I found out after that, they're like, Xbox One's not gonna be compatible with your current headsets, and I was just completely just in a rage. I was like pacing back and forth. I was like, you know what, Microsoft? You know what? I'm done. So I went and sold my Xbox. I sold one of my copies of Halo 4. I sold my $300 headset for $80.
Ooh, ouch.
Okay.
Did you know it was going to be $80?
Best part about that is
We need to work on your negotiation skills.
Well, I went to the game exchange and they're like, "Yeah, we'll give you $80." And I was like, "No, screw you guys." And they're like, one day I was like, "I really want some money." It's like, huh?
Jesus.
I'm gonna shout this. Right now. And then I sold it for $80. I sold my Xbox for I think 100 and something, like 150. And now here I am. I'm talking to you guys, and I'm wearing a different set of headphones that I bought for $80, and then I had to buy a $15 mix amp for it.
We do it to ourselves.
I bet
It's
you're
okay.
wishing you didn't sell that.
Huh?
I bet you're wishing you didn't sell that.
Let's not talk about it.
I'm gonna rub it in. I'm gonna use that. Salt in the wound.
On a positive note, we did find the name of that game that we were talking about, the JRPG. Bravely Default,
Yes.
Flying Fairy.
Yeah, looks amazing. Go look it up. Like I said, I posted a video on our Facebook. If you don't like us on Facebook, it's also on our Twitter stream somewhere.
If you like JRPGs
Go look it up on
with
YouTube.
If you like JRPGs with pop-up book art styles, it'd be up your
If you
alley.
like the Final Fantasy remakes on the DS, which were amazing, by the way,
They
if
were
you
good.
haven't played them,
Yeah.
oh, they're great.
The
Play
characters
those
have
two.
big heads and
Yeah,
small
the characters have
bodies,
big heads,
which is funny
small
because
bodies,
Chris hates
whatever.
Final Fantasy 9.
Hey, you know what? It's whatever. The games are amazing. I love how they transformed, those classic games into a 3D world, and
They're charming.
oh, they're just great. And that's where the series needs to be. And that's what they're doing with Bravely Default. But you don't see any press on it. There's almost no press on that game.
Be that press. We could be that press.
I will be that press. I'm going to be talking it up. You guys talk it up. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Let us know what you think about overpaying for games on release. Share your stories. How bad have you been burnt? We want to know. Let us know any ideas you guys have for the podcast. Let us know what we could do better, what we suck at. Any ideas for future topics? We've got a couple of good ideas from you guys off Twitter, so keep those coming. We'll be filing those away to use at later dates. I mentioned last time that we're gonna try to start getting some special guests in. Hopefully next episode. Also, next episode, Halloween show.
Absolutely.
Halloween show. So
I'm gonna wear my fairy outfit.
No one will
but
see it,
nobody
though.
will see it.
I don't care. I would be happy.
But get ready to be spooktacular with the Gamefira crew next episode. Leave us some feedback. Don't forget to thumbs up and share. Go like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. And until next time, this is Chris out.
And this is Justin. Thanks for putting up with us. Take care.
Say bye, Austin.